welcome to today's episode of Quarantine Kitchen. Today we're going to use lentils to make bolognese. Lots of people have dried lentils in their cupboard but don't necessarily know what to do with them. As you've seen from my blog, I like lentils and I use them quite a lot, mainly for curries, dals and rices and soups, but in France they use them a lot for salads, so they use petite lentils for that. We'll be using petite lentils today, which is a quick cook lentil, takes about 20 to 25 minutes, to be the substitute for meat in our lentil bolognese. We'll be making the lentil bolognese in a very similar manner to the way that you would make normal bolognese. You could use red wine, I won't do in this recipe. I prefer to drink my wine than to cook with it, so I don't often use alcohol in cooking. So let's get started. Okay, so what did I just do? So I just made our usual trifecta. That would normally be carrots, celery and onions. I only had celery and I had onions and I had a little bit of fennel, so I put that in there. Then I let that cook for about 8 minutes so it's softened. Put a little bit of stock in there just to let it sweat so that it didn't brown too much. Then I added ginger and garlic. Then I added all the herbs, and you can just add whichever herbs you have or whichever herbs you like. I added oregano, dry cilantro, a little bit of dry mint, I put pepper in there, and I put a little bit of gochujang to give it a little bit of spice. So that's kind of a deep Korean spice. But if you had sriracha, you could put that in, for example. You don't have to put any spice in at all. Then I added the lentils and some tomato passata, crushed tomatoes. If you have any pasta sauce, you could add that, for example, then it would already have some of the other flavorings in it. Then I added some stock. So layers and layers and layers of flavor. Then I'll bring it down to a simmer and we'll just leave it for about half an hour and then we'll check in on it. After 20 to 30 minutes, your lentils will have absorbed all of the flavors. And so now is the time to just check whether they're cooked. So just take a lentil and see if it's squishy. Then taste it, so that you can work out whether you need to add more salt, more pepper, more flavorings, more chili perhaps. Tasting is the best part about being a chef. I like to serve mine with spaghetti to make it more like a classic bolognese, and I use banza, which is a high protein chickpea pasta. Mr. B likes a pasta called orecchietti, which means little ears. The reason he likes that is because it cups the sauce, so you end up being able to take in one piece of pasta filled with sauce. Bellissimo! So let's see what Mr. B thinks about this Italian-inspired dish.
Buonissimo.